Excuse me, we have a lot of laundry. Come on. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, get up in there. Yeah. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another fold and story time. Y'all, today is crazy, okay? I've been on like a massive cleaning spree, which includes doing the sheets because oh my god, it has been a little bit too long since we did our sheets, so please pardon the mess. We're kind of a gross family, so welcome. Diving in, lots to conquer. And today's subject matter is not so much a story time, it's actually just like a conversation. Yes, perhaps it's a one-sided conversation at the moment, but I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, and I feel like it's an ongoing conversation that's been going on forever, and some of you have been commenting about it. I've actually like reached out and asked you guys about it, so here we go. Today we're talking about clickbait, and I think I am interested in talking about it on a bigger like scale. But my reference, as always, is this channel and YouTube. I feel like YouTube and my channel is such a microcosm for bigger conversations and a microcosm for like bigger world issues. So I'm just like, I don't know. Basically how this all started was, I feel like a couple weeks ago, I was inquiring about like Monday vlogs. I do vlogging Mondays on my channel. If you guys are new here and or if you didn't know, on Mondays I do just like old school vlogging. I love it. I'm like, side note, kind of interested in just vlogging. There's just something very therapeutic about it. Not only as like a person that does it, like being behind the camera and vlogging for the day is really fun, and I don't know, it like makes the days better for me personally, but I also love watching them, and there's something very like wholesome and comforting about them, and I've read in the comments that you guys feel that as well. So there's that. But I was sort of polling at some point asking like, hey, how do I title these? Because I've watched some influencers who do titles that are like, basically explaining exactly what you're going to see in the vlog. So it would be like going to the mall, okay, bad example. It's like going to the mall, unboxing my Amazon packages, and making dinner with my husband. Okay, so it'll like do all of that, and then that's kind of your cue for like, hey, yeah, I'm actually interested in those things. I'm going to click on this. So I was polling people and asking like, is that how you like to see your vlogs titled? Or are you more inclined to click on a one-line sort of, for lack of a better term, like clickbait thing? Like, so say you were going shopping, and during the shopping experience, you're like having a bad experience with someone that works at the store. So the title, instead of having the list, the title would then be like, embarrassed by store clerk or whatever. Again, bad example. I don't pre-plan these. I don't know if you guys noticed that. These like sit downs, story times are not pre-planned. Anyways, so it was interesting because I feel like I got a mixed bag of responses. I mean, no one was like, yes, I love a clickbait. But I would say like the mixed bag came in that some people were like, yeah, please list it out. Like, I'm more inclined to click on something if I know exactly what I'm getting into. And then there was a lot of people, like a 50-50 split, where a lot of people were like, I don't really care what it's titled. Like, I'm going to click regardless. If there's an influencer that I watch or a channel that I watch, like, I'm just going to watch them. Like, the title isn't necessarily the reason why I click. There was a few people that were like, I really don't like those clickbait ones, and that like turns me off, and now I'm done watching you. But there's always those, no matter like what you title, what, you know, whatever. So this kind of just got me thinking, okay, I want to respect, listen, and adapt. The reason why I polled is because I'm interested in that, and I want to do what y'all want, right? That's the job. And I take a lot of pride in that. That being said, this week on Monday, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that. I'm going to do the list, or rather, I'm gonna be a little bit more specific. And so I did like a general vlog, but it involved an Amazon haul, like a very mini Amazon haul. I'm very tired. A mini Amazon haul and a mini crystal haul. And so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna list out everything. I tried a version of that before posting. I was like, let's stick with that. Let's do a mini Amazon and crystal haul, okay? And right away, you can see like in the algorithms and you can see in the back end, like right away it was like, this video is performing like worse than usual, right? They really like in your YouTube, if you guys post, you know, like in your YouTube creator like portal or whatever, they're like harsh. They're like, this video sucks. I mean, they don't say that, but like essentially they're saying that, right? So like this video is performing like worse than usual. There's another word that they use, which is a little kinder, but I can't think of it at the moment. You get the gist. And so I was like, well, okay, I'm trying to do what was requested, but like I also like need to pay the rent, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I guess. So I switched it up a little bit and focused more on like the Amazon favorites, or, you know, Amazon finds of this month, or whatever I ended up titling it, and I changed the thumbnail, and it's still not performing as well, but I'm curious if, had I done that from the start, if it would have performed better. Okay, this is again just a small example and a small like science experiment to see what actually clicks and what actually does well versus like trying to also keep my viewers and the ones that are kind enough to respond to my polling, etc., the people that are actually involved, to also make sure that they feel seen and heard. So right now it's Monday, which is why I'm so tired. I'm like, Mondays are crazy for me with emails and meetings and this and that. Grateful, but I'm obviously so tired. Anyways, tomorrow, which would have been yesterday, I'm putting up a get ready with me, and I was toying so hard with how to title it, how to thumbnail it, because I feel like, and I will be able to retroactively go back and check it out, and then you guys can concur after this conversation. I feel like a general get ready with me is not going to be as clickable as me saying, like, in that video I'm talking about an update, for instance, on my anxiety and my car anxiety specifically, and also talking about going to Dear Evan Hansen and crying all alone by myself in a theater. So I feel like had I chose those things to title it, I'm guessing that video would have done better, but I'm also like, I can't lie, like it's a get ready with me video. So I am sort of in this position of like, clickbait, I get it that people get like mad, and if the clickbait or the title is like completely like off from what the video is about, I understand that that's like frustrating and so annoying as a viewer, right? So I think there is a happy medium to be had, is the moral of the story, but I want to reverse it and be like, you know, this clickbait world, or rather the world has really like consumed clickbait, right? Like I think they've caught on to clickbait, like even news articles, any sort of blogs. Like I feel like everyone's kind of in this position where it's like, well, that's what gets the views, that's what gets the clicks, that's what gets the reads. And so I feel like we've gotten into this like sort of hamster wheel, I'm saying this like as a community, as a world, like this hamster wheel where it's like we all live so much online and we all kind of like depend on it in one way or another, that like we feel like the only way to survive is to essentially like heighten everything, right? I feel like I'm being a little bit vague, but go with me on this, okay? I'm not a professor, I'm not like an expert on anything, but I thought this was an interesting conversation. I'm so curious to hear your thoughts. I just feel like the world in general is, and the media in general is like clickbait central right now. And it feels, it's just like a difficult world to be living in general. And then the heightened sense of like these headlines and these titles. It's just like, do you all feel so exhausted by it? Because I personally know that I do, not just as a creator, but as also like as a consumer. It's just like, but I also fall for it, right? So I go into my sub box, or rather my suggested videos on my homepage, and like I do tend to click on a lot of the clickbait titles. Again, some of them are relevant to the subject matter, but a lot of them are so exaggerated from what I'm actually seeing. I will say, a lot of the times, ultimately it doesn't matter, and I enjoy the video, or I guess I enjoy the video, or I get something out of that video. So yeah, it's just a conflicting thing to be in. But it's funny, I was talking with a friend of mine, and we were just kind of talking about the subject matter, about how everything like feels so heavy, and like we're trying to like YOLO it out because life feels heavy and life also feels very short and blah blah blah. But then I was like on I was on literally Googling weather in Orange County, or like I was Googling the weather, and I was like on the weather channel. I was looking for the weather in Long Beach because we went to Long Beach this weekend, and I wanted to know what to wear. And then like below like the predictions of what the weather was going to be were all these like end of the world titles. It was like, overheating will cause this and that. Family passed out in event because it was too hot. It was just so bonkers and so like end of the world, but I was like, I gotta click on all of these. I have learned not to with that kind of stuff because I will drive myself mad. But then I was back on YouTube. So I was telling my friend this because we were talking about sort of this like YOLO lifestyle, because everything seems so crazy and end of the worldy that like we might as well enjoy and try to find the most joy out of everything and stop worrying about the little things and blah blah blah. But then I went back on YouTube, and a suggested video that I got, I don't know what it was or who it was from, and I didn't click on it, but it was like family of 4 dies from pasta. Like pasta killed a family of 4, and I was just like, I mean, sure, I'm sure that the world is big and crazy things happen, but like I absolutely cannot with this right now. Like I just cannot with this. There's just too much. And I'm sure that clickbait was actually probably not clickbait. It was probably just like an actual crazy, terrible, horrible thing that happened. But you know what I'm saying? Does anyone out there agree with me or actually know what I'm talking about? I just feel like everything is so clickbaity. And again, I'm not trying to diminish actually what's going on, because there is so much awful going on, and like that story, for example, is like awful, but we continue to sort of seek that out. And I feel like because of that, there's like this curiosity, right? But like because of that, the media and entertainers, and again, I am absolutely saying that I do it, we seek out those clickbaits because that's what keeps the lights on. So it's an interesting conversation, and it's sort of a thing that I'm grappling with, and I try to like put out positive content, and I try to evolve constantly and learn constantly, and you know, that's what our job is here on this planet, right? We're not perfect. We've all made mistakes, especially me and entertainers, and you know, but where does that put us? Because we also need to keep, do you know what I mean? I don't know where I'm going with this, but I felt inclined to like at least like start to broach this subject, and also let you know, like, I hear you and I hear your feedback. I hear your feedback, and I'm trying my best in terms of titling and content and thumbnailing and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the subject. Obviously, I'm asking to come at a place with understanding and kindness and, oh, excuse me, sweet girl. Whenever you guys comment and whenever you guys interact with each other, more importantly, like, listen, this is my job, and I'm also pride myself on being an adult, and I work through things when people leave not nice comments, right? That's part of this job, and I've accepted that. But when you guys interact with each other, it's really important to me that you consider one another or considerate of one another, and that you're kind to one another. So I will monitor that, or if you see that like comments to each other are not nice, please let me know. But where was it go? Oh, this is Jeff's shirt and it smells like Jeff, even though I just washed it. I still, sorry, cheese ball. Okay, anyhow, distractions all around. I don't know, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the situation, but again, I just ask that you guys are kind to each other in the comments if you disagree with one another. But I think it's interesting, right? Like, this idea of clickbait. What do y'all think about it? Do you notice that it's more prevalent now than ever? Do you feel like so turned off when you click on a video that's like completely off topic? And or do you like kind of understand? And or do you click on the stuff that has these crazy clickbaits because we gotta know? I do. I mean, I was just like also thinking as I was like setting up for this, I was looking at this book next to my bed, and the book is sort of, it's called The Family Plot. I've just started, but it's really good and I'm really enjoying it. I just haven't had much time to sit down to read. If you've read it, let me know what you think. No spoilers, please, but you know, it's sort of a nod to all they call them murderinos, people who are obsessed with true crime. And I'm like, well, even me, just reading that kind of book, in a sense, is like giving into some sort of not a clickbait, but do you know what I mean? Like, we like the drama, we like the crazy, like, this is human nature, and I think that's okay. Like, I think we're inclined to do that, and like, the world is so big and life is so weird, and like, what are we all doing here, and like trip out, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's a curiosity that's normal and healthy and human. So I don't know, sorry, I'm getting like, again, I'm sort of swirling this all in to one big conversation, and I wish I was a little bit more fine-tuned, right? There's some channels out there that actually like dive into philosophies about this kind of stuff. That's not me. I enjoy watching those, but that's not what you guys came here to, or came here for. You came here to listen to me yap so that you could do your chores while I do my chores and I just talk your ears off. But I don't know. I'm interested in this subject matter, and I could go on, and I'd love to hear other people's theories on this. I really would like to talk to other YouTubers about this and their theories on clickbait. I will say I'm pretty sure most people are pretty particular about how they title things and what thumbnails they use, and like unabashedly so. Hold on, I'm gonna stand up and get that stuff over there, because if I lean over, you're gonna see my butt. I'm wearing pants today, don't worry. Side note, I was doing some work on the computer, and my neighbors were like knocking on my window because they had a question for me. And one of them is like a teenage boy, and it's so hot here, and like I use the air conditioner, but I try not to like blast it because it's so expensive. So I'm like legit in like a t-shirt and my underwear, and I see them, like, thankfully they can't see all the way in the way the sun's shining, but I see them like waving at me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like in my underwear, like, Jesus, like, hold on, I'm like, hold on, thankfully I'm sitting at a table so they can't see me, hold on, and then I have to like crawl and like put my pants back on before I open the door. But anyways, yeah, I don't know, I'm curious to hear your opinions, like I said, on this subject matter. Also, like, are you guys into these kind of conversations, or do you just want to hear some story times? I'm open to either and everything and all things. This was kind of on the forefront of my mind because of this week, and I was trying something different, and I feel like, again, I'll have to go back and check out how yesterday's video fared, but like, those clickbait titles and those thumbnails, they work, man. Like, that's the thing, they actually work. So, you know, what does one do with that, and what does that say about, in a bigger picture, what does that say about the world and this and that? So there you go. I actually dominated this laundry fold. I thought this was going to take me a lot longer. So high five. Hopefully you guys got something out of this, whether it was just a company while you were doing your chores, or maybe you were just engaged in the conversation. Either or all of the above. I appreciate you guys so greatly. Thank you for understanding where I'm coming from, if and when I title things a certain way. And I look forward to continuing to grow with you guys. And yeah, thanks for making this community special. It's small, but it's mighty, and I really appreciate you guys. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks. Bye. Oh, and I'm not going to clickbait this video. Well, maybe I will. We'll see. Gotta keep the lights on, y'all. Bye.